Hi, fellow traders. I'm going to wrap up this first week of June, put a period on it. We're going to talk about some of the swing trades and all of that. So stay tuned for that. But first thing I want to tell you is in order to get to some of the most beautiful places, whether it be in your backyard, where you live, or whether you take a trip to an exotic island, to get to some of the most beautiful places, you're going to have to push through some obstacles. Here, the picture of me up in the mountains in North Carolina. And in order to get there, you had to push yourself through some obstacles. I had to go through some stuff. And it was a little bit of work. But when I got there, it was well worth it. Some of the things that I saw, some of the experiences that I had was, once in a lifetime. But I couldn't pay for it. It didn't cost me anything to get there. And I couldn't pay anybody to take me there to give me those experiences without me having to do the work. Trading is just like that. You can't pay anybody to get these experiences that you need in order to get to where you want to be in your trading. There's certain things that you are going to have to go through personally. There's certain pitfalls that you're going to have to fall into that's going to help develop you and shape you into the trader that you need to be. And you can't buy that. That experience you can't buy. And the biggest mistake that a lot of us make, that when we're trying to get started, is that we're waiting. We're waiting to feel like it's our time, or waiting to feel like it's for us to get motivated. Because honestly, for a lot of us, we feel that we only have one chance at this. That if we mess up this one opportunity that we have, it's gonna go away forever. But you got to understand, we only have one shot at this life. We only live here on earth once. Once that's gone, that's it. So we're going to have to make the best of it. And we can't sit around and wait for things to fall into our lap. We're going to have to go out and get it. We're going to have to push through some of these obstacles. And we're going to have to go out and get it. We can't sit there and wait until we feel like doing it, or wait for somebody to pick you, say, hey, I want you to come in, I'm gonna teach you everything. Or waiting for somebody to entice you to come in with the deal to get you excited. Or just flat waiting for the right time. It's gonna require you to get up, get out, and push yourself through. If you don't, you're gonna have a hard time getting to where you want to be in this trading deal. That's just the honest truth. It doesn't matter who you go with. It doesn't matter whether you follow me, or whether you follow Ross, or whether you follow Canal, or whether you follow Jason Bond. It doesn't matter who you go with. The fact is, and it doesn't matter how much money you pay them, you're not going to get to the finish line any faster than the next person if you don't put in the work. If you don't put in that time, that sweat equity, that's what it's going to take. So just wanted to share that message with you guys. Whenever I wake up and I'm inspired to share something, that's kind of what I put in these. It may be a video that I watched or something that helped me along my way. I'm going to share it with you guys. And speaking of deals, this deal is probably going away this weekend. I have received an overwhelming response. I'm a stone's throw from my max capacity. Once I reach max capacity, that's it. I'm done. You can't get in. And it really took off faster than I thought. I thought I would be running this pretty much the whole month. But the deal is, if you subscribe for a month, I will give you the next month free. I'll pay for your next month. You know, I have to pay for you guys. Everybody that comes in the community, I have to pay for. So when you pay for your first month, the second month you're going to get for free. You know, and even if you don't stay and subscribe again in August, hopefully you would have learned and built the foundation that's going to last you a lifetime. You know, because you get all of my classes, all of my content. We have up to 3 classes every day, every week. You know, after the market closes. You know, those are recordings that you get access to as well. So you're going to get enough. And whether you go off on your own or whether you go follow somebody else, hopefully the foundation and the principles and the process that you get from me and our community will serve you well going forward. Now, if you want to commit to a year, I'm going to pay for an extra quarter for you. So you're going to get that year, plus you're going to get an extra 3 months on the end of that I'm going to take care of. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is. You know, I'm willing to invest in you if you're willing to invest in yourself. And like I said, this will probably be gone. Once I'm filled, the link and everything comes off the website, you won't hear about this ever again. So if it's gone Monday, if you miss it, there's nothing I can do. It'll be over. All right, so let's look at my day on Friday. We'll put a stamp on it. Then we'll look at where we are for the week. And then we'll look at some swing trades from this week. So ZMUZ, this was one of the ones that hit my scan. I was looking for it to sell off because most stocks, when they gap up to a 52-week high, you're going to get some selling. And I was looking for it when it opened to sell off. What I wasn't looking for was the whole damn range, this whole range from here back to the previous 52-week high to sell off. I had it just, but it did. And, you know, it kind of rebounded a little bit. And when it looked like we were rejecting and we weren't pushing back over, that's when I took it short. I wasn't going to wait for the opening range low because we were well over a point away. And even if it went down and failed, I would be able to take profit. It would be a decent, you know, profit on the trade. So I got in and took profit at 26.50. This is where I put my first target. And it hit. Oftentimes when you see edge as the route, that means I had a limit order sitting out. Limit orders usually fill through edge. The market orders that I do either fill SMAT or PDQM. Both are house routes. So that, you know, just to give you some idea, if you're looking at this, that's what this means. So I already had my limit order out to take profit at 26.50. Had another one down here around 26, but it never did get there. As soon as it hit, it started to push back up, and I had my stop right here at 27. I use market stop orders. You know, yeah, if you're in a very volatile stock, sometimes you will get 10, 15 cent slippage. But typically the stocks that I trade, you don't have to worry about that kind of slippage. You know, I'm not trading the low float, you know, penny stocks or the lower dollar stocks that are volatile. You know, if I was trading that, no way I would use market orders. But these, the best way to get in is using a market order. And, you know, that's what I've been doing. And it's been working for the last 3 years. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's kind of my mentality with that. So it got stopped out here, and I waited. And I patiently waited until we rejected, and it looked like we were going to go red on the day. We were going to, start some more selling. So I got back in and did not put my order down here at 26.50. I was holding out for 26. I felt once we got this, we should get 26. We didn't, and we started to grind back up. Normally, I take I just take the position off. That's what I normally do in a case like this. But because there was so much resistance above it, not just the 9, but we had this red to green, and I just felt that we weren't going to push back through this, and we were going to eventually sell off, maybe into lunch. But that didn't happen. It pushed back up and stopped me out. And so, I assessed the market. There wasn't a lot of volume in it for me. So I shut it down for the day. I decided to not trade anymore that day. And, only ended up with $7.04. But I gave the market a chance. And I managed it as well as I could. And I didn't end up red on the day. It was just pretty much a scratch day. It's what it turned out to be. But it was worth me giving it a shot. That's all we can do. We are traders. If the market looks like it's going to give us a little something, we got to go for it. But when it's not giving it up and we're losing volume like this, and it just stays that way the rest of the day, and nothing comes back, leave it alone. I didn't anticipate any volume coming back after lunch anyway. So I came back and I looked, there was no volume. So I called it a day. And I'm going to tell you guys, look, if the market, in my opinion, for my strategy and the way I trade, if the market is not there, I'm going to leave. There's so many things that we could do versus sitting here watching a market with low volume. It's just nothing for us really to make money on. Unless you're a scalper. I'm not a scalper, so no market for me. Now, there was another stock on our watch list, SFIX. This didn't have any shares to short, so I pretty much dismissed it. And look at the move it made. There's no way you can predict this type of move on this stock. But it made an awesome move over the opening range high right here. We did get a little bump here. That would have been a nice little trade. We pulled back to VWAP, held VWAP, held over all of these moving averages. And once it got going, we got, quick pullbacks here, but nothing to take you out of the trade. And then coming out of lunch, look at the move it made. I mean, awesome. And there were some members that caught this. And we did have it on our watch list, but I didn't entertain trading it because, I'm more short biased. If I have a stock that can set up for a short, like ZUMZ had, that's going to take my attention to it. But the long guys, really nailed this. So there was opportunity this week. And here's the daily chart on it. You can see we were over the 90-day. We gapped up, but then we sold off almost to the 20, and then it took off. But there were a lot of opportunities this week. A lot of opportunities. And all we can do is put ourselves in the mix. And I was right there, had the stock on watch, but it didn't trade clean. But once it got out of this, it was gone. And if you had this stock on watch, you really came out good yesterday. All right, so for the week, 9/22/22, real nice week. Thursday was the day that will live in my heart and my mind for a couple of weeks. If you remember, I'm not going to even go back and talk a whole lot about it, but I took a huge loss, almost, you could say $400 loss at the open, but systematically traded my way back, made $700 on the stock that I traded the rest of the day. I mean, ended up green. I'm not going to be upset with this, but this could have been a $600 day easy had I done what I was supposed to do. If I had been disciplined like I was supposed to. So, that's going to haunt me for a while. But either way, still a solid week. We had good opportunities on Monday, good opportunities on Wednesday, good opportunities on Thursday, and we saw a good opportunity on Friday. I just wasn't in the right place at the right time on that. Then Tuesday was a day, it was just one of those days where it was best to sit on your hands. I took a trade. I got about $40 more loss than I should have taken. But it wasn't because I wasn't disciplined. It just blew past my stop. It's what it did. And I wish I had done this on Thursday. But hey, woulda, coulda, shoulda. You can't go by that. But the good thing is, balance is finally over $5,000. As long as we can keep it there, we're going to be able to start the third quarter right where we want to be. But I'm not writing it down. I'm not putting it in writing. Because when that happens, you bring life to it and it sticks in your mind. Now, this is just a thought. Okay? It's a thought. And as long as it stays a thought, I'll be able to deal with it. So we got 3 more weeks to go in June. Should be pretty interesting. I'm not going to force anything. And guys, all of this is trading 100 to 300 shares in my SureTrader account. No problems, no issues. Only problems I had 2 days last month. The buying power didn't get updated to 9 o'clock, which didn't affect me anyway because I wasn't trading pre-market. So we'll see. The test is going to come at the end of the month when I wire out the money. And, you guys will go through that process with me. And we'll see exactly, how long it takes, what the process is, and all that good stuff. So I'm determined and I'm committed to, doing what I said I was going to do. So you don't have to worry about me changing my mind on this. All right, so let's take a look at some swing trades I took this week. I'm a part-time swing trader. Okay? Part-time swing trader. I'm a full-time day trader. Swing trading is my part-time job. So I'm going to start sharing these with you as well as the all-day holds that I'm doing in my main account. I'll be sharing all of that with you. Most of the time it's just going to be at the end of the week. So I can focus on the small account and sharing the messages that I need to share with you. So CAR is an Oversoul swing that I took. I was just a couple days early. We'll look at the chart here in a minute. Or you can kind of see it down here at the bottom. You may not be able to see it clear, but we'll have a better shot of it. May have a better shot of it in a minute. But I was just a little bit too early. You can see this is the day here that I was in it and I got stopped out. and here was another blip day, and then we set up, and it's been going ever since. So this trade is working. I just got in a little bit too early. 461.97 loss. But PLNT, this one I've been in since 5/17. Okay, this was a 20 EMA crossover. We'll look at that chart in a minute closer. But this was a 20 EMA crossover, and it took a while. But once it hit, it really started making a move. We got our profit at 8%, which is what our first target is on these. Either 8% or the 52-week high. And I took 300 off there. You made 863.62. Well, actually, it's a little bit more. For some reason, I don't know why the Trader View, when I downloaded the Trader View, the P&L, the commissions are like $3 difference. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. But that's gonna be off by a couple of bucks. Alright, so here is PLNT. This is the day that I got out of it. You guys have asked me to send the chart and my entry, through email the day that I enter, so you can, have that. So from now on, when I enter that day, I'll send you a chart with this showing my entry, and then when I scale out, I'll do this as well. But I took it off right before close, and this is what I typically do on swings when I'm taking profit at the end of the day. My target was 44, but we were at 43.90. It was 1 minute left, so I took it off. And 866.90 is what we made on this. Still have 200 shares left, and I'm waiting to see if we get through 46. And we'll see the chart here in a minute. We did get a pullback after this, but that was expected. S, I'm still waiting, patiently waiting. It's just not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere at all. Alright, so here's my Oversoul watch list from last week. And you can see CAR is working. I got in on this day, which was too late. I mean, too early. A couple of days too early. Here was a good day to get in, or even this day would have been nice. But this started working. DLTR, this is another one, Oversoul. It's struggling, but it hasn't done anything to stop you out. This was the entry day. Your stop's going to be down here, and we're still in play. The 20's coming in hard, and it's taking up a lot of the range that we could have had, but we can still get 8% on this, before I think it gets slapped down. But this is one of those that, is struggling a little bit. And again, each trade we get, even though we trade the same strategy, they're not going to look the same. The results are not going to be the same. They're not going to immediately work when you get in. So you've got to have that mentality that, okay, well, you got to have the mentality to understand that no two trades are going to look alike. But that's where experience comes in. Trading the same setup over and over and over and over and over again, you're going to see different variations of how the trade works. And you're going to be more comfortable in them. You're not going to get spooked out if a trade does something different than you've ever seen before. You won't get spooked out. Alright, so the 52-week high watch list did really good ADI, this one really did good last week. We are on a pullback, but it did hit our target, and we are pulling back. And I would expect it to pull back and potentially hold and continue to push up. So these you can do long-term swings on too if it recovers and, you know, gives you more to the upside. EA, you know, this one triggered, but it's just moving a little slower. You know, and that's just one of the variations. So let's say if you ask me personally, what stock I felt would give me the best opportunity, I would have said this would have given you the most explosive move. Because look, we went up, tapped it once, twice. We're gearing up or flagging, however you want to say it. But to me, we're gearing up to break through the 52-week high. And I would have expected a bigger pop like this. This one, I would have expected this type of move on. So it's all in experience. And knowing, hey, you're going to get different variations, but one may work better than the other. That's just the way it is. All right. And then the last one was a 20 EMA crossover. This is the one that tends to struggle a little bit more at times, but NTNX has had a hard time getting off of this. So, you know, it may be moving next week. You know, we may be moving and, you know, pushing up through the 52-week high, which is right around 60. So if it triggers an entry on Monday, first target, you know, obviously 52-week high, and then watch for it to blow through. WTW was a solid setup. Here was an entry that it triggered, and then a gap up and blow past 52-week high. Real nice. So that, be quiet, dog. He's out there barking outside my window. But that's it. I just want to take you through these. The last couple of weeks, we've been seeing some great movement in our swing trades because the SPY has been doing this deal. You know, it's been trending. It hasn't been trading sideways. The markets are moving, and that is allowing our swing trades to move. So you can look at the SPY here. And this is what I use to give me an idea of what the market is doing. I use the S&P E-mini futures. I look at that chart in the morning to see how it traded overnight, since that trades 24/7. And then during the day, I use the SPY or the ETF for the S&P 500 to give me an idea of what's happening in terms of the market. So you can see we kind of broke out of this channel that it had put in, and you know, I'm looking for it to continue up. You know, if we can keep pushing up during the summer, it's going to be a good summer. All right, guys. Well, that's all I've got for you this week. I took one all-day hold this week. I got stopped out on I forgot what I played, Facebook. But I kept the stop tight because I know how Facebook trades. So it wasn't a bad hit. If I get some more this week, then I'll recap that then. But I wanted to make sure I had enough content when I recap the all-day holds. But maybe this week coming we'll get some better opportunities. All right, so that's going to do it for me today. This week I put a wrap on it. Everything is still looking good. I'm very happy with where I am. Very happy with where we are in our small account. And, we're just going to keep growing and progressing from here. So you guys have a great weekend. And I will see you Monday morning.